Greetings, and welcome to a journey into a quiet, forgotten corner of history. Tonight, we will leave the clamor of the modern world behind and travel to a time when light was a precious, hard-won thing on the world's dark coasts. Our destination is the 19th century, a period of immense change, yet one where the vast oceans still held a powerful and terrifying mystique. Our focus will be on the lonely sentinels of the sea, the Lighthouse Keepers. Settle in, find a comfortable position, and allow your mind to drift. We will explore their immense isolation, the quiet rhythm of their days, and the powerful, humbling stories that unfolded in the shadow of their great lights. We will hear of a famous shipwreck and an enduring, baffling mystery, and we will contrast their solitary lives with the bustling world of the port merchants their lights guided. Let the rhythmic sound of the waves and the gentle creak of the old lighthouse become the backdrop for our story. It is a tale of solitude, immense responsibility, and the quiet endurance of a life lived on the edge of the world. In the final moments before sunset, you glance at the vast expanse of gray-blue ocean. The sky is a canvas of fiery hues, red, orange, and purple streaking across it. In the distance, the setting sun bleeds into the horizon, painting the clouds with their last warm colors. As darkness falls, the light of the lighthouse begins its slow, steady pulse, a reassuring rhythm in the vast silence of the sea. For you, the night's work has just begun. In the lantern room, amidst the polished brass and the towering lenses, you stand ready to tend the flame. Your movements are precise and economical, born of years of routine and the need for utmost efficiency. Every action has its place. Every movement contributes to the vital task at hand, keeping the light burning bright. You are a creature of habit, your day divided between tending the light, maintaining the tower, and the endless patient wait for the morning. As the night deepens, the wind outside rises, rattling the windows of the lighthouse and sending shivers down your spine. Waves crash against the rocks below, a constant, restless murmur. Yet inside the lighthouse, there is a strange, deceptive calm. The only sounds are the soft crackle of the fire and the measured tick-tock of the clockwork mechanism controlling the light. The air is thick with the scent of oil and salt spray. The lamp flickers, casting dancing shadows on the walls. Its glow is your only companion in the vast darkness, a silent sentinel against the crashing waves and the howling wind. You stand at the window, watching the storm. Out there, the sea is a raging beast, waves crashing and wind screaming. But here, within the solid stone of the lighthouse, you are safe, secure, and purposeful. The storm may rage, but you are the unwavering light, a symbol of hope in the darkness. And in that moment, you understand the weight of your position, the lives that may depend on your vigilance. The following morning, the sky is clear and the air is crisp. The storm has passed, and in the distance, the sun is rising over the ocean. The waves are calm, lapping gently against the rocks. As you watch the sunrise, a deep sense of satisfaction washes over you. Another night you have endured, another storm weathered. The light has burned steadily, a beacon of hope for those at sea. For you, the day has just begun. Your tasks are many. The supplies brought by the last boat must be checked and stored. The clockwork mechanism needs winding, the lenses cleaned, the oil topped up. All these tasks must be done with precision and care. The lighthouse, your home, your workplace must be kept in perfect order. You move from task to task with a quiet efficiency, your actions a well-rehearsed dance. The solitude is not oppressive, but rather comforting. It allows you to lose yourself in the tasks at hand, to find peace in the routine. The lighthouse, a steadfast sentinel against the fury of the sea, stands as a testament to human resilience. Within its sturdy walls, a single figure tends the flame, ensuring that it burns bright and steady through the darkest nights. The Lighthouse Keeper, a solitary guardian, watches over the endless expanse of the ocean, a beacon of hope in the vast darkness. If you enjoyed this experience, we invite you to take a moment to support our work. Your support allows us to continue creating these rich, immersive stories that transport you to different times and places. Together, we can keep the lights burning for many more years to come. A lighthouse keeper's life is one of quiet, methodical diligence. But it is a life lived in constant preparation for the chaotic fury of the sea. The beacon they tend is a response to the great, untamable power of the oceans, a power that, from the comfort of your own bed, we will now turn our attention to. Let us leave the steady, ticking mechanism of the lighthouse and turn our thoughts to a different scene. Imagine a schooner, the Hesperus, sailing peacefully along the New England coast. The year is 1839. The air is crisp, the sea a calm expanse of deep blue. The ship's captain, a man of great experience, is confident in his vessel and the clear weather that surrounds him. Aboard with him is his young daughter, a quiet presence on the ship, lulled by the gentle rhythm of the waves. But out beyond the calm, unseen and unheard, a great and terrible storm is beginning to form. It is a slow, methodical gathering of power, a shifting of air and temperature that will soon become a devastating force. The wind begins to rise, a low moan at first, a whisper of what is to come. The schooner, which had been cutting gracefully through the water, now begins to pitch and roll with a growing unease. The sky, which had been so clear, darkens to a deep, bruised gray. The captain, a man of the sea for many years, understands the meaning of these subtle shifts. He knows a gale is approaching. He takes his daughter and has her secured to the mast, a simple act of a father protecting his child against the coming chaos. He gives his crew their orders in a calm, steady voice. They work to furl the sails, to batten down the hatches, to prepare the vessel for a fight they know will be difficult. As the night deepens, the storm arrives in its full, furious majesty. The wind howls now, a high, piercing cry that drowns out all other sounds. The waves rise like great mountains of cold, churning water, crashing over the ship's deck, making the vessel groan and tremble. The ship is no longer sailing. It is struggling, fighting for its very existence against a power that is immense and relentless. The cold spray stings the faces of the crew, and the very air is thick with salt and rain. Through the torrent, the captain looks on, a silent and watchful guardian of his ship and his child. The battle continues through the long, dark hours. The ship is tossed and broken by the fury of the sea. Mast after mast snaps and falls, leaving the vessel a crippled, desperate thing. In the end, the sea proves to be the more powerful force. The schooner, unable to resist any longer, is finally overwhelmed. The tragedy of the Hesperus is not a story of a single great crash, but of a quiet, relentless wearing down by an unfeeling force. The loss of the ship and its crew is a somber reminder of the quiet dangers that have always lurked in the dark, cold waters of the world's oceans. It is this tragedy, and countless others like it, that gives such a profound and lasting purpose to the steady, unblinking eye of the lighthouse. The sea, in its fury, is capable of unimaginable acts of destruction, as we saw in the tragedy of the Hesperus. But sometimes its most profound power lies not in chaos, but in a strange and unsettling silence. The lighthouse, which we've come to understand as a beacon of light against the storm, can also become a silent keeper of a mystery that time itself has failed to solve. Let us now shift our focus to a cold, remote corner of the world, a small archipelago off the west coast of Scotland known as the Flannan Isles. These islands are little more than windswept rock, a desolate home to a great lighthouse built at the end of the 19th century. Here, at the turn of the new century, a profound quiet settled over the lonely watchtower, a silence that has echoed through the decades. In the year 1900, the lighthouse was tended by 3 keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and William MacArthur. Their lives were a familiar rhythm of duty and isolation, much like the life we imagined earlier. Day after day, they maintained the great light. But on December 15th, a passing ship noted that the light was out. This was highly unusual and a cause for concern. A severe storm had been raging, and a relief boat carrying keeper Joseph Moore was unable to reach the island for several days. On Boxing Day, Moore and the crew of the relief ship finally managed to land on the island. What they found there has since become one of the most baffling and quietly eerie mysteries in maritime history. The front door of the lighthouse was locked from the inside, but the gate to the compound was open. There was no sign of the keepers. As Moore slowly walked through the building, a sense of profound stillness hung in the air. A clock had stopped ticking. In the kitchen, a meal of salted mutton and potatoes was set on the table, uneaten. A chair had been overturned. In the keeper's quarters, the beds were still made. The logbook, a keeper's most sacred document, was in place, but the last entries were strange. On December 13th, the keepers had noted a severe gale, but that the men were calm. Later, they recorded that the storm was still raging and they were praying. On the last entry, December 15th, there was a simple note: "Storm ended, sea calm. God is over all." There was no sign of a struggle, no bodies, and no clues beyond these strange, quiet observations. The only other detail was a missing set of waterproof oilskins from the wall. The great light itself was clean and ready to be lit, but for some unknown reason, it had never been turned on. Over the years, many theories have been put forth to explain this quiet vanishing. Perhaps a rogue wave, a towering wall of water, swept over the island and carried the men away while they were performing a duty outside. Or maybe there was a quarrel that turned violent, though the lack of any sign of a struggle makes this seem unlikely. Some have even suggested that one of the men, driven mad by the isolation, may have caused a tragedy. But none of these explanations fully satisfy the quiet, eerie stillness of the scene that Joseph Moore discovered. The mystery of the Flannan Isles remains one of the sea's most unsettling tales, a story that speaks not of grand shipwrecks, but of the silent, lonely dangers that can befall even the most watchful of sentinels. The lighthouse, in its quiet solitude, stands as a lonely monument to a duty of great importance. But what of the world it protects? Let us leave the cold, wind-swept isles and move to the warmth and security of a 19th century port city. For every keeper maintaining the light in solitude, there was a man whose entire world revolved around that very same light, a wealthy port merchant. Imagine yourself now, not on a lonely rock, but in a large, comfortable home, in a city like Boston or Liverpool. The year is still the late 1800s. Your morning begins not with the sound of the sea, but with the quiet murmur of a bustling city awakening outside your window. The air is warm, the furniture is of polished mahogany, and the walls are adorned with beautiful imported art. Your breakfast is not hardtack and salted pork, but fresh bread, imported tea from China, and rich coffee from Brazil, the very goods that are transported on the ships your fortune is built upon. Your day is a rhythm of a different kind, a rhythm of commerce, of numbers, and of social interaction. Your work takes place in a quiet, organized counting house, a world away from the chaos of the docks. You spend your hours surrounded by ledgers and shipping manifests, meticulously tracking the movement of goods across the globe. You are concerned not with the dangers of a storm, but with the fluctuations of market prices, the reliability of a captain, and the intricate details of a business contract. The sounds around you are not the howl of the wind, but the scratching of a pen and the turning of a page. You are a man of immense power, but that power is a quiet, steady force, unseen by the sailors at sea. The success of your business depends on the safe passage of ships that rely on the very beacons we have been discussing. You hold court in the evening at an exclusive gentleman's club, a place of soft leather chairs, the gentle clinking of glasses, and low, murmured conversations. You discuss the politics of the day, the latest news from abroad, and the grand strategies of your business with other men of your station. This social world provides a stark contrast to the deep isolation of the Lighthouse Keeper, a life filled with company and conversation. Your life is a life of comfort and security. Your family is safe. You are surrounded by the trappings of your success: fine fabrics, imported spices, and valuable artwork. You know that somewhere out there a lonely keeper is tending to the light, ensuring that your precious cargo, your ships, and your profits make it safely home. There is a deep, quiet connection between your opulent world and his isolated one, a bond forged in the risk and reward of the sea. Conclusion. And so, our long journey comes to a peaceful close. We have moved from the quiet, monotonous duty of a lighthouse keeper to the chaotic drama of a shipwreck. We have pondered the profound and unsettling mystery of a vanished crew and have settled into the comfortable, powerful life of a man whose fortune was tied to the very lights that guided the ships. The age of exploration was a time of immense contrast, a period where lives of quiet isolation and extreme responsibility were lived alongside lives of immense wealth and power. As you let these stories settle in your mind, let the stillness of the lighthouse, the gentle rhythm of the sea, and the quiet security of the merchant's home become a backdrop for your rest. The historical echoes of these lives have faded, and all that remains is a peaceful silence. Allow yourself to be carried gently towards sleep. Good night.